G'day, guys, and welcome back to another Wednesday night. So good to have so many people here. It looks like it's going to be a big show tonight. Geez, what a interesting week it's been, hasn't it, down in Victoria? It's been really kicking off down there. It's made international headlines and definitely not putting Australia in good light. Well, definitely not the government anyway, in good light around the world. So thanks for joining us. And before we start, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. I'd really, really appreciate it. So we will bring in Jason. Good evening, Jason.
Man, what is happening in Victoria? Daniel Andrews must resign immediately. Absolutely immediately. This guy is just a crazed nut job. And, just so sad what we're seeing in Victoria right now. This is what our country's become. Wow, man. I never thought I would have seen this anytime, in the last, 10 years. But yet, unfortunately, we're here right now, aren't we? So, and of course, the police and government, apparently they're the victims in all this. Just wow. I don't even know what to say, man. Absolutely speechless, to be brutally honest. You abuse people for 2 years and now you claim to be the victim of, perpetrated violence. Wow. That's the state of current affairs in this country right now. Very, very sad state of affairs, unfortunately.
Yeah, and he's, you reckon he'll get back in again? But I just don't see any of these people getting back into Parliament again after this entire debacle. That's for sure. But with the CFMU, doesn't surprise me. I spent years being forced, basically literally at gunpoint, to pretty much just to join, because I was in construction in the big high rises for years. And geez, nothing surprises me with those guys, the stories I could tell. But I've seen them do, and things I've seen them do to people, and it's just unbelievable. Those guys just stand over. And they've tried to stand over me many a time, even after I resigned and I finally had enough of giving them my money. So it's nothing surprises me that with that CFMU in the slightest.
Just amazing how things escalate so quickly. I mean, people have been locked down for 2 years. They're just sick to death of it, man. I mean, I don't blame them. Violence, I don't think is the answer, obviously. But, I also can't blame them, to be brutally honest. I mean, the government's just not listening to people. And, even the ones you sort of think would report reasonably from mainstream media, Sky News, for an example, they've gone totally full left retarded as well. You look at the things they're putting out now. I mean, just what happened? Where's the independent media? That's why these guys out there that are doing pretty good work, like real Rukshan, I'm not sure what nationality he is, but he's out there doing some great work down there. 50, 60, 70,000 people are watching what he's doing, which is fantastic. And they're not watching mainstream media, but, they'll continue to lie to you, claim to be the victim, keep doubling down on stupidity. And it's just a very sad state of affairs. And how Andrews has allowed it to get to this point where people are on the streets now day after day. This is the second day running. I presume, will be happening tomorrow. I can only presume. I don't get involved in these types of things. But, it's just, very, very sad, man. I wanted to just bring this up. Hey, I don't know if this is him, because we saw – you guys can let me know. You're more into the probably maybe the union stuff in the past than I am. I'm just going to share this for 1 sec, Aaron. So let's not forget, we'll get into shooting related stuff. Someone says Rukshan is Sri Lankan. Yeah, he seems like a real nice fella, does some great work, and certainly puts himself in the line of fire with pepper spray on multiple occasions to get the footage that he needs. So I'm just trying to bring it up. Where is it? Sorry. Well, I'll just going to go. Sorry, guys, just 1 second. I'll bring it up here. So John Setka said he didn't apparently meet. I'll see if I can make this bigger. He'd never met Daniel Andrews, apparently. So is that him? Is that John Setka? Is that him on the left-hand side from the CFMEU? So apparently he said he never met him. So I presume that's him, but I presume this is the thing from a long time ago. But is that him? I don't know. Let us know in the comments if it's him. Either someone's really good at trolling us or this is legit. So interesting stuff. So if it's him, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, man. Not too sure. Because I was in Queensland there, so in Queensland, and I don't even know who the big bosses of the CFMU are. But Yeah, there was some interesting stories. I was told by the owners of large construction companies what they had to do just to get them off their backs. It was pretty bad. And what I've seen, mate, yeah, disgusting. If you and me did it, we'd be in jail. Let's put it that way.
And, it's just, like I said, we always tell people all the time, on the stream, just, if you want to keep your guns, don't get involved in these types of activities, unfortunately. You know what I mean? If you're happy to lose your guns, that's up to you. But, I get people are upset too, even in the shooting community, don't like what's going on. And, yeah, I get it. I really do get it. I get why people are angry. I don't blame them. They can't work. They got no money, been forced to do something they don't necessarily want to do. Unions are nowhere to be seen. And, this has got the flow on to the topics we're going to talk about tonight. So, there's a lot going on right now. It's just, wow, like what a change in a week can make a difference. We're now firing on citizens. Today they were firing on citizens again. It's just, wow, man. It's funny, isn't it, how I will say one thing, right? On the weekend, they were very quick to shut down the Freedom Rally protests, very, very quickly to try and stop it forming. Very heavy-handed tactics. But now because it's, rank and file Labor voters, they stood out the front of the CFMEU for God knows how long, smashing it up, which is, whatever you think about, that's up to you. Cops didn't want a bar of it, and then they were able to walk around the city for so long, which is okay. Again, whether you agree with that, that's not the point. But it's funny how when it's a freedom protest, it gets try to get knocked on the head really quickly. But when they're rank and file Labor voters, just let it go on for 9-10 hours, no problem. Even like today, it went on for 5, 6, 7 hours. So, again, my point is not what's happening. It's the extreme double standard of what's happening. If you've got the right politics, it's okay, according to the Andrews government. I mean, he is just a piece of work, that guy. How they've not rolled him and gotten him out of there, how he's not in prison is just beyond me, man.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Well, I don't think there'll be Labor voters anymore, that's for sure. And I really sympathise with you guys. I've been in the building trade for 30 years. I've been on all those big high-rises. I've built a ton of high-rises down the Gold Coast and Brisbane. I've seen what has happened to our industry firsthand. I've been there. I've been on the strikes. I've seen good people just basically sent to the grave because of the unions. It's just... just they've had to quit everything, not literally go to the grave, but they just quit their jobs and just just got out of there because they couldn't handle all the union stuff and all that. So I really do sympathise with you guys. You pay all this money. I think don't get me wrong, but I could be wrong. I heard it's about $1,200 a year to belong to the CFMU, and that's. And they turn around and just do that to them. It's unbelievable. It really is. Like when I was on there, they got a beef with our job site because of something so minor, and they brought a 9-day fortnight. So I'm a contractor, so it cost me $12,000 in a matter of weeks just because we had to take one day off. It was just unbelievable. They don't care. They just don't care because it's not their money. They're not interested.
When they were in front of the CFMU MEU, I was like, where are they getting bread baskets from and milk? It was like everything, man. And then they closed the doors after, like, they were getting pelted with whatever it was, bottles and that, whatever, which, you don't condone. And then they stayed in there for about a minute, and I reckon they were sitting in there saying, well, we can't look like a bunch of sissies. So they opened the door, and you had that little dude with the goatee. If you watch the video, you'll know he's bouncing around, man. He's gearing up for a fight. He runs out, almost punches his own mate, grabs him from behind, almost punches him out, but he didn't do anything because he realized, well, that's my guy. And then they literally got pelted again, and then they had to retreat again. So I was like, I think they realized when they were in there, like, well, we can't be looked to be seen to be weak here. We need to get out and do something. And then when they did, they just copped a bollocking. So, and they quickly went back inside after another 30 to 45 seconds. So, yeah, man, it's interesting. Wow, I never thought it would get to this point, man. And, I'm not surprised the unions aren't standing up for their workers. Very sad.
Yeah, guys, if you're a part of this mess down there, I just highly recommend don't go out. Don't join in. I know it's hard to say in that, but they'll just come and take your gun licenses, guys. Don't get involved, unfortunately, because you don't want to lose your gun license. As soon as they nab you or recognize you or identify you, they'll just take your guns. So just think, is it worth losing your gun license over and your sport? So just be very careful, guys. I know it's heated and you want to stand by your mates, but especially your workmates, but just be very careful out there. That's for sure. And always abide by the laws. That's for sure. Don't be smashing up cop cars and don't be doing any of that sort of stuff. That's for sure. I want to thank
There are a
Andy.
lot of people that are conflicted as well, about the whole situation of having the gun license and what to do. But guys, you just, as Aaron just said, if you're going to get in the shit, you're going to lose your guns. It's just not worth it. So,
And all the arrests come days and weeks afterwards when they go through all the social media stuff and all the news broadcasts and they identifying people, and you may think you got away with it, but they may nab you through a video 2 weeks down the line, sort of thing. I want to thank Andy here. I'm thinking of retiring my avatar. It's getting sad now. Yes, not a bad idea, Andy, but yes, that's for sure. And thanks for the super chat. And another one has come in. Stan, ammo fun. Keep your chins up, guys. A lot, guys, are from going through mental health issues. If you need help, talk and get help. Yes, that's for sure. And that is probably an episode for another topic for another episode, because mental health, unfortunately, and I spoke about this on Shari TV when I was live on Sunday on her channel over in the US, which was a lot of fun, and I'd like to thank her for having me on. It was a great show. We talked about the mental health, how, especially in same with vets, how people aren't going to get help for simple little things that don't really affect or will never affect their shooting or anything, but they won't go and get help they need because they're scared of losing their gun licenses. So the whole thing's pretty fucked up, if you ask me.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people having some good chats in the comment, but I think we've got to do the participant roll call, I think. Aaron, what do you reckon? Let me have a go and just go back here, because someone gave me a good tip last week, and that's going to make my life a lot easier. I can tell you that. All right. I think it must be in first name order. So here we go. Excuse me. Hang on. Sorry. Alex Lopez. We've got Andy Markle. We've got our buddy Andy 1234777. Annoying Frog. Aussie Farquid. Yeah, I'll just call him Aussie. Ben and Lapworth. He's been a regular too just recently. CBM, CG, Cherie Richardson. We've got Chris, legendary. Chris Miller, Colin Penfold. Of course, they had two of our regulars. Con. Oh, shit. Con Serious. I'm going to say serious. I'm really sorry, Seth, if I've got that wrong. Deplorable Oz, DP Skipper. Any late? Is it any late? Sorry if I got that wrong. Epic Fly 889, another regular. Fierce Firefly, becoming a regular. Fox 860, another regular. Frilly Knickers. Nice. I like that name too. Front Toward Enemy, my favorite, best name. Can people beat the best name of Front Toward Enemy? I love that one. Fulcrum, Harps 666. Sorry, everyone just keeps posting while I'm in here too, and it keeps changing. Fulcrum, J Icon, JR, Jake Craig. We've got Genie's Got a Gun, Kieran 1999, Lockie McFarlane, Lead Pilled, Liam Cumbo, Liberty Revolutionary, Long Range Lead Slinger, MB. Matt Outdoors Adventures, Matt Cato, Mimi, Mick Taylor, Mr. Wonderful, Mr. Griffo, Mr. John Boy 1965, Neil Constantine, who's a long-time regular of our show, Neil H. and Salty. We've got Oi. I like the name Oi. That's a good one too. Overland 4x4, another regular. Peter Grace Me Guide. That's interesting. Peter Robertson, Peter's Zabradov with NSC, Phantom HD, Phil Walter, Pig Hunter, Probing. We won't say Probing's last name. He's a bit naughty, Probing. Maybe Probing should change his name. Rob's Woodworking, Robert 000, Rob Beatson, Ronnie Blackhawk, Scott Donald, Servant of Yeshua. Oh, that's interesting. Never seen your servant before. Sonic Boom, Stan, Long Range Pensioner Mance, Stu O'Brien, Tankmeister, Tezza Shooting Ferals, Bush Ranger Brotherhood of Victoria, another regular, Tim Tretton, Tiny Budgie, Tube User C1, Val Budzak, Wayne Hobbs, Wickeder Than Thou, and Wilbur. Sorry if you've been, this has been changing all the time throughout that. Camouflage as well also joined us. So if you've been commenting, your name came up in the participants list and it kept changing, and while I was scrolling down and wanted to keep going up. So there we go. Not bad. Well, maybe we'll have another go at the end. Maybe I'll read people's names from StreamYard, Aaron, at the end, because otherwise this will just go back to alphabetical order. So welcome to all the regulars in the channel. Make sure you make a comment so you can be in the participants list. And Chris Hodjo, there we go. No, I just popped up. There you go.
And I've seen a few new people here today as well that I haven't noticed in here before.
Yeah, I'm not sure I read out Farmer Dave. That's another one as well, Farmer Dave. I'm not sure if I read his one out, but there you go, Farmer Dave.
Yep, and we've got a few super chats coming in. Thank you so much, guys. Sonic Boom, finally got my CZ515. Awesome, so happy. You'll be happy with that gun. It's not a bad little gun. I did a review on that. You can go have a look at that. Who else have we got here? We have...
What's you got? Yeah.
Robert. Hi, guys. Hello, Robert. Thank you so much for the super chat. And we got...
Jason Draper said, you missed me 2 weeks in a row, or I missed you 2 weeks in a row. Did you miss me? Yes. Yes, we did, Jason. Yes, we did. There you go. Welcome to the stream, good sir.
And we got a super chat from our friend Alex Lopez. And I can't find it in the list here, but a $30 super chat. Thank you so much. You got it?
I've got it. He said, sorry state of affairs we have in Victoria.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, thank you so much. Sorry, it hasn't come up here. Sorry, Alec, but thank you so much for the $30 super chat. Really do appreciate it. Yeah, it is bad in Victoria. It's just getting worse and worse every week, doesn't it?
Yeah, man, it's bad. What we're going to talk about is going to bring up some very interesting things. And there's our buddy Tech Support. He's in the stream too, our Telstra Tech Support Centre operator. Not Telstra, just a joke anyway, but he's here. Tech Support, welcome to the channel. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, but it's going to go into what we're going to talk about tonight, and I want to get your opinions. We'll bring up your comments about some interesting things that could have some severe ramifications, I would assume, on maybe some select people in the industry based on the name of this topic. So when we get into that,
Did notice on my Facebook page when I brought this up, some guy whinging saying, "Oh, is this just a clickbait?" You know, and carrying on. This isn't real, and like, they'll whinge about everything, won't they?
Absolutely, well, we do have some stuff here. I don't know if we were going to be able to show it. It's up to Aaron. It's his show. He's going to be able to show it. If not, we'll probably just talking about it, leaving out just some key aspects to avoid, any butt-hurt organizations, you might say, or just anyone butt-hurt by our commentary. We're just bringing you the facts as we've received today. So,
yeah, exactly. Here's our good friend Aussie Farquhar. If Farquhar is good enough for Xbox and PlayStation, it's good enough for YouTube. Farquhar is my name. Farquhar by nature. Fair enough too. Over Aussies, we're all going to have a laugh. Good stuff. Thank you for the
super chatting. He's keen to get his name up there. See, Matt Cato said, one thing I've learned today is that everything I've built in Melbourne over the last 25 years is definitely earthquake proof.
Yeah.
Because there was apparently an earthquake down there today. That's crazy.
There was a good meme of someone sent me, and I'll try and find it on Instagram. And it had the buildings crumbling down, and Daniel Andrews saying, "I'd love to. I can't find any tradies to fix the damage."
Yeah, I know. Who would fix it? You wouldn't bother, would you? I mean, they'll probably get some idiot to do it because they've probably got enough friends in the industry still to.
CFMU will probably send their thugs around to do it.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next week, I would assume, about what's going to happen, how we're going to form over our next, say, 1 to 2 months, I would assume, since we're getting up on the levels they want, apparently. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very different country in about 12 months' time.
Yeah, I know, it definitely is. Anyway, what are we going to do? Topic?
Matt Outdoor Ventures noticed that cops in Victoria had AR-15 shooting rubber bullets. Yes, even Channel 7 said that on one of their live broadcasts. Said, they're saying, oh no, now they're shooting into the crowd with rubber bullets. And there was that clip, wasn't it, Jason, with that guy, with that cop with the rubber bullet AR-15, and he was just eager. He had the hard on from hell, just jumping up and down. He couldn't wait to mag dump, could he? It was just
I
absolutely
saw
comical.
one where the guy was on the side just doing nothing, and the guy, you could tell he was little man syndrome, charging in with full riot gear with the gun, move, 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 pointing it right at the guy, and he just stood there. And then they got right up to him, maybe within half a minute. I thought, oh, this guy's going to cop these rubber bullets, and then he just didn't move. He just stood there. He wasn't aggressive or anything. He just stood there, and the guy realized this guy's not moving, and I guess he didn't have the cop didn't have the guts to take it to the next level. So he just backed off. And I thought, oh, this guy's going to cop at this guy. He just stood there on the side of his hands were just by his side, didn't do anything, just stood there, did not do anything, and didn't even move. And then he's charging in 3 times, move. And then I thought, oh, this guy's copping it for sure. And then the guy realized, well, he must have realized this guy's not going anywhere, and then didn't take it to the next level, thank God. So.
Well, you can buy those rubber bullet shotgun shells here in Queensland. They sell them on the Gold Coast at Noi Industries, I think it is. They sell them. Anyone gets to go buy them. And mate had some on a farm, and even the shotgun ones, they just rip right through. I was watching them go right through corrugated iron. Like, you're not meant to shoot them nowhere near the face, and that's it'll kill you. You can't do that. And they can kick off cardiac arrest if you get shot in the chest. It's pretty bad. They're pretty nasty. And man, I had one here somewhere that I picked up, and it's it's like the size of your thumb, and a little bit hollow in the back and solid rubber. Man, you would not want to get hit by one of these things at all.
And just again to remind everyone how bad things have gotten. Remember the pro-gun parties in Victoria that voted to give Daniel Andrews more power, right? If you're in Victoria, we've been speaking about this for well over a year now, maybe a year and a half. Just remember the ones that said we want to shut down Parliament, that we're supposed to be pro-gun, that voted for the shutdown of Parliament. So Daniel Andrews is not accountable for his actions. Just remember, come election time, who you're going to vote for. That's all I'm going to tell you. Well, maybe we'll discuss that a little bit further down the track.
Yeah, we can discuss it today. Not a problem. Southern Star Reviews, thank you very much. Love your show, Azza and Jace. Can't wait to catch up for a quiet trophy. Yep, sounds good to me. Sounds good. And our friend Fulcrum, thank you, Southern Star, for the donation as well. Quite a large one, $50. Thank you. Hey, Jace, what do you think of the animal welfare proposal in New South Wales? Are the NSC interested in this case?
I only looked at it, to be honest, I only looked at it today. I mean, again, I've been, man, to be honest with you, what's happening in New South Wales, some stuff I've just been avoiding just because, me and Aaron talk about this all the time. I mean, sometimes I probably get a little bit negative because I'm just not seeing any movement anywhere. We just keep getting sold out, and things aren't going well at the moment. It does weigh on your mind a little bit, but I'll probably discuss it next week. I think probably the best option, mate. I'll go through it properly, just have a bit of a look at it, see what obviously people are already talking about how this may affect hunting. That's obviously one of the obvious things. But once I've had a good look at it, I can formulate some type of opinion on it. Then I think we'll discuss it. And it's probably better off for another one anyway, because it's probably going to be so big. I don't want to bog it down on this show because this one's really important. So,
exactly.
Just remind me, send me a message about it too. Anyway, before, if I don't do it next week, it'll be sometime soon. Anyway, once we have more detail, I can go through it properly. I mean, you're always going to be scared when government brings in more animal welfare stuff, especially about how any unintended consequences could affect hunting, whether private or on public land, and it could be a problem. So.
I think the easiest thing they'll be coming after, I reckon, will be duck hunting, because that's one that's always, every year, it's in the news, pulls on the heartstrings of the uneducated. I think that's what they'll probably be trying to go after, I dare say, if they go after any hunting. Thank you very much, Lockie, for the super chat. Thank you so much. And Front Towards Enemy, thank you so much. As they usually do a rubber bullet demo to show the public how less than lethal they are. Shoot some watermelons. Yeah, not a bad thing. I'll look at that. I'll go down to the Gold Coast and pick some up next time I'm down there. Yeah, it'd be interesting. But I can tell you now, they were pretty evil. They really were. They were
I wouldn't want to get hit by any bullets or rubber bullets either, but that's why I don't go. Because
literally, they were like the size of your thumb, like that. Yeah, and they're blue, and oh Jesus,
Robin says roll call, buddy. We already did that, dude. I already read your name out, man. You must have went for a toilet break when I was reading out the roll call.
Yeah, yeah. So, tell us, guys, who is affected by this lockdown from the tradies down in Victoria? Is anyone in here a tradie on big construction sites, commercial construction sites? That are affected by this. So they're going to stop it for 2 weeks. Does that include domestic housing? Is that going to be stopped as well?
Yeah. Let us know in the comments if you guys been affected, because again, it's going to go into what we're going to talk about soon.
Yeah, Tom, I'll never stop eating duck. Fair enough too.
Well, that depends. Whether Tyrant bloody Daniel Andrews lets you even hunt next year. I mean, duck hunters have continually had the squeeze put on them ever since Andrews got into bed with the anti-medic from the Animal Justice Party. So but again, I could never vote with anyone that gets him to bed. I mean, sometimes, hey, if it's in your favor and it's going to be, you have to work with someone, that's the reality of politics at the end of the day. If they said if I had to agree with the Greens on something to get suppressors for shooters, well, depending on what I had to agree with from them, but if it was benign to shooters, meaning a non-issue to shooters, I'd happily take the suppressors, and you have to negotiate. That's just life. But again, when Andrews has done nothing good for shooters and we've got our pro-gun parties freely and happily voting for their policies and to shut down Parliament, it's just, wow, man. Wow. Again, this is the gift that doesn't keep on giving. It's unfortunately screwing over a lot of shooters. And, again, I just see comments on the internet and praising some of these people. I go, God, man, it's dumb and dumber with shooters sometimes. Obviously not the people in this stream, because you guys are informed and educated, but forces are a lot of shooters out there that are just fucking plain dumb. There's no really other way to say it, truthfully, because they're still voting for parties that are actively going against them. Whether it's Labor or Liberal, or it's pro-gun parties doing things in the detriment to their interests. And they still just go, oh, great job, sir. What are you talking about, It's just crazy.
It is. And Sherry Richardson, real rush gun, filmed the bullets, Rebel News too. Yeah, we'll have to take a look at that, see what ones they were using.
Good to see more girls in the chat. Get more. We need more ladies in the chat giving us their opinions. So it's good to have a lady in the chat, and we've had a few over the time, haven't we, Aaron? We've had a few pop up here and there, a few from overseas, and it's been good.
Yeah, it definitely is. Welcome to the show. Hope you join us again. So, yes, we'll just go through some of these comments. Mr. Wonderful. Show the greenies pictures of lambs, etc., torn apart by foxes, pigs, cats, dogs. See what they say then. Oh, they know all about all that.
I don't think they care anyway.
They just turn a blind eye. It doesn't fit their agenda. They know the truth and everything, but they don't care. It just doesn't align with what they want. That's all.
Yeah, Probing said RSPCA will help a dog before they'll help an actual person.
Yeah.
I think that's true. Yeah. I like that. I like it.
The RSPCA is the largest group of people putting down animals anywhere. Like every Thursday, I think it is, they wipe out all their dogs and their pounds and then start fresh again on Friday.
I think people, this goes on to what Frilly Nick has said. My neighbour's a builder and he's staying at home, spending a lot of time mowing his lawn. Hey, if you had acreage or, a property sort of thing, and you had your little property by the lake, couple of acres, I mean, I think it'd be a lot more awesome, you know what I mean, than, having a small place. Or imagine if you had like an apartment, or, probably some of you people do have apartments in the chat, or units or those sort of things, depending on where you live around Australia. But, I mean, if you had like a little house on the prairie, so to speak, little lake, your own little lake, and, it'd be a lot better, wouldn't it?
I've got a dam, but it's just...
what's happened? All of a sudden, ever since I started having a drink, I've just been coughing, but don't have COVID, guys, so it's all good.
What was I going to say? He said, yeah, I wouldn't be at home mowing my lawns. I've actually got a big digger coming in a week's time, and wait to see what he's going to do to my lawns. A lot less mowing. So
we haven't said what you're doing yet. Are you letting it out what you're doing yet, or no?
No, not yet. something really big.
It's unshooting related, but he is doing something. So and it's coming along quite well.
Yeah, put my heart and soul into it, so I hope you guys like it. But
Yeah.
there will be gun stuff involved, that's for sure. I can never get away from that.
Yeah. No, it's definitely very interesting. It should, yeah. I mean, anyway, I won't say much more, just in case I end up having a Freudian slip of the tongue and end up giving it away.
Yeah, you guys will like it. Well, hopefully you like it. Hopefully. So, geez, there's a lot of. We'll try and answer a few questions before we bring up tonight's topic. This because we don't get around to answering many questions. It's something that we will be talking about later on. Australia is a nation divided like never before. Politicians are keen to sneak through their own agendas to everyone's detriment. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's a sad, sad thing. Everyone getting divided. I'm not at all happy about that. We should all be one and get on and all live together, basically in harmony, I guess, like what Paul McCartney said. But yeah, we should just shouldn't be divided. Shouldn't be. Yeah, we should just all be getting on. A government should never try and divide its citizens.
Here we go from Rob's Woodworking. Is Aaron putting in a bunker? Aaron, are you putting in a bunker?
Oh, you'll see. You'll see.
It might as well be. I'm thinking it might as well be a bunker. But anyway,
Yeah.
that shouldn't give anything away. Yeah.
Yeah. A bunker would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah, just a little have like your TV down there, like a little cool bunker in the ground. It's nice and cool. Put some lounges in there. Maybe like what do you call it? Like a what do you call a room where you have like not technology room? What's the term they use where you got like a
bomb shelter?
No, like in a room in your house, like the media room, like a theater room or a media room. That's what I was thinking. I reckon that'd be I reckon it'd be pretty cool, to be honest.
I've already built one of those. Don't need another one of those.
Yeah, that's true.
Never used my media room. Never used my theatre at all.
Anyway, let's get into our topic at hand. That's why people are here. So unless you got any more right there, I'm just having a look.
No,
panic room. He's got a panic room. Well, he needs one, that's for sure, because he's always panicking about something.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, we will get into tonight's topic. So, guys, had a couple of emails, well, the same email, but from a couple of people today about what is going on. So this is, as it stands, it's in Victoria, of course. We can't get away from Victoria, but it's in Victoria. But mark my words, this is coming to other states. I know that for sure that it will come to other states. So here we go. Bring this up. So this is a cover letter sent to me. Here we go. Hello. Please find attached an email from WSAA in relation to reopening of Victoria Ranges after lockdown. So there was that. And then came this email. So I've been sent a couple of times of this. Quite long. We're not going to read it all because it is a bit drawn out. Following the announcement of the roadmap by the Premier yesterday, the Department of Sport and Recreation has circulated the below email to clarify that the roadmap to apply to sport. Within the email are links needed for government outlines and roadmap for both the Metro and the Regional Victoria. You got a copy of this, haven't you, Jason? You can read.
Just go to the first one. Go to the third one. It says, in regards to Eagle Park and Springvale, this is the third paragraph. Yep. Stop scrolling. We are waiting for more detail to be released in regards this Sunday, 26th of September. However, with the travel limited and not being allowed between Metro and Regional, it does not look likely at this stage we'll be able to open, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, getting to the one after that, this is the first information that the government... Hang on, I'm sorry. Sorry, that's right. This is the first information the government has released indicating that ranges may only be able to operate for... Shit, you just killed me, man. Yeah, here we go. I've got it again. Will only be able to operate for the fully vaccinated. This is the last paragraph there, guys. So I can't select it. Aaron, you select that last paragraph. No, down. Next one. Yep, that one there. Yep. So I will give him credit on one respect, but it says the first information the government has released indicating ranges may only be able to operate for fully vaccinated patrons from October 26th. However, SSA with Victoria will not be mandating this requirement until it's made law through the Chief Health Officer's directions, which you can assure probably will be happening sometime soon, I would assume. We do recommend that branches and clubs pass the information onto your membership preparation for this possible scenario. As we get closer to each change being made, this information will be clarified by the government. Just scroll down a bit, Warren. With Geelong, and obviously it says here, but there's not much else information there. So basically what we're seeing here is the first points of the fact that if you don't get the jab, you pretty much won't be able to go to the range. So this presents a myriad of problems right now. So firstly, the main one would be what happens if you're not decide for your own health reasons? And I did see someone ask in the comments whether me and Aaron are vaccinated. I don't normally tell people our own medical stuff. That's not for me and Aaron to know. I just don't tend to ask people that, type of stuff. What do you think? Hang on. Lost you there for a sec, man.
Oh, sorry. Yep. Yeah, no, that's people's private information. It's no concern of anyone else's at all. No, we're not interested if you're vaccinated or not, and vice versa. It's not our place to ask. But there is this paragraph here as well. We didn't read this one out, did we? Based on the information for the subject of the regional ranges. Did you read this one? No. Restrictions circulated on September 10, 2021. As of 26th October, groups limited will change. However, at the time, patrons will be required to be fully vaccinated from 5th of November. So from the 5th of November, you are going to have to be vaccinated by the sounds of it on the ranges here. So,
that last line says November. Group numbers and density quotas will change again, but patronage is still limited to the fully vaccinated. So, as we said a bit earlier, main problems are going to be, you can already see probably the main obvious one would be already that, well, if you've made your own decision to not do it, that's again, your own business. So mandatory attendances, if you're in a state with mandatory attendances, how are you going to do your mandatory attendances if you've decided to remain unvaccinated and they continue to remain that way into the future? So it's obviously quite scary for people. And that could be up to anywhere from 20 to 25% of people of the shooting community that may not be able to decide not to do it for their own personal, medical, whatever reason they've chosen, that you now won't be able to go. If you've got sport shooting on your license, well, then you won't be able to go to a range now. So how impossibly are people going to be able to conduct their own mandatory attendances, such as here in New South Wales, for an example? Aaron?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm just being that. Yeah, exactly. Does that mean they're just going to say, just get the jab and you're going to be fine? What happens to people who can't get the jab for religious reasons, or they're worried about the jab? Which is, I've talked to even medical people and my clients, and they said, a lot of people are just uneasy about getting the jab. They're just uneasy about it. Well, nothing wrong with that. Some people are. So, so are they going to be discriminated against, or are they going to be forced to get the jab, or what? I reckon they'll just say, just get the jab, or you lose your license. Basically, no two ways around it. Get the jab.
Yeah, and
that's what it's going to come down to.
We did say this. I mean, probably 3 to 6 months ago, we said this sort of thing was coming. Especially if you've got your pistol license, that's going to be, what are people going to do regardless of their situation? I mean, they've really putting the pressure on a lot of people, not the organisations, but the government. But, what I'd like to see, again, is a circulation of information of why aren't these organisations standing up? But I mean, again, if it's a government thing and they put it in some sort of legislation, well, it's going to be tough. And at the end of the day, what can you do? But I mean, at the moment, there just not even seem to be even a remote bit of pushback to this sort of situation. So from our organisation, it's just like we get a phone call. Hey guys, no jab, no shooting. Oh, okay, no worries. We'll tell the membership base. Thank you. And it hangs up the phone. Like, where's the pushback again? But I mean, I know they can only do so much, but at the end of the day, I mean, why are we doing things right now that are not mandated or may not be the law? So again, why is there no pushback from our organisations? And some of them, you're not going to be surprised at the lack of pushback because, they don't have any pushback in them. They want to just, keep moving along the way they are. They want to keep signing up members. They just, all that sort of stuff. So, some you're not going to be surprised at that situation. So at the end of the day, what do you guys think in the comments? That's one obvious issue I'm seeing right now. Are we missing any issues? Let us know in the comments about, what issues you foresee. What about hunting? If you're with mates, you go hunting. That may be another requirement. What is if you're a public land hunter? Requirement of a license may be. This is all speculation. This part's speculation at the moment. But, you're going somewhere with a bunch of friends on public land, whether it be New South Wales, whether it be Victoria or duck hunting in South Australia, for an example, parts of Tasmania. What are we going to do? They said, well, you don't go out if you don't get the jab. This is going to be the major problem amongst people, and this is what always annoys me. It's not the fact that sometimes you have to do certain things because they're going to make it legislation. It's just that there's just no pushback. It's just there's absolutely zero pushback from our organisations. Nothing we read there said, listen, we fought as hard as we can. We made representations. We put our things forward. We may potentially pursue some type of action. No. We'll just tell people. I guess the benefit part, one part of it is they said they'll actually try to, until it becomes actual law, they won't be doing it. So you got to give a little bit of credit there. But other than that, man, there's just no pushback. It's just like, well, we won't do it until it's mandated. Then we'll do it. It's like, yeah, that's good, but you should have done a lot better than that a bit earlier.
Oh yeah, definitely. What about the presidents and the rangers who are like independently owned? Why aren't they getting up and say, no, we don't want this at our club at all. We're not going to do it. No, we just can't do it. It's going to cut all our, alienate a large group of our members, and they can't shoot. They'll lose. If they can't shoot, do they just not have to worry about attendances? We've already said that right last week. How Victoria has wiped this year's attendances. Obviously, it's not needed. It doesn't do anything, so it's not needed. If they bring this sort of crap in, they should say, right, there is no mandatory shoots for pistols or rifles. It's just no mandatory shoots whatsoever if they're going to bring this in. Because you can't expect people to give up their sport if they don't feel comfortable about injecting themselves with their vaccine.
Yeah, and this is a terrible situation to be in for people that, for whatever reason, they've chosen, medical or otherwise, to choose between their sport and they're having to put something into themselves that they may not potentially want to, regardless of the situation, is just fucking treachery, man. Fucking treachery. Nothing else can be said other than that. Absolute treachery. And I would urge anyone listening to this stream, I'm looking right down the camera at you now. If you're gonna, any business, organization, caught discriminating against people will not be a good thing. And I will do my absolute best to plaster your business all over my Facebook page to 44,000 people and tell people, do not shop to people that discriminate against people. At the end of the day, I work for a certain type of company. I'm being, a thing right now. It's likely that's going to happen. I'm going to have to get it. So it's just a reality for a lot of people, unfortunately. If you do want to go overseas, they will make you get it. If you want to go to a country, they will make you get it. But I'm just urging all these organizations and businesses not to discriminate against good, honest shooters. They get enough discrimination as it is. They don't need you laying more shit on top of them. And I will do my absolute best at the behest of my own reputation to fucking ruin your business. So be on notice. I make no fucking qualms about that, I tell you.
Yeah, you get them, Jason. Yeah, that definitely is not good. No, you can't divide people at all. You just shouldn't be dividing people into vaccinated and non-vaccinated and playing people off. We've seen it already with people, and I've heard it from my clients that their friends have disowned them because they haven't had the jab, and it's just causing an absolute mess. It really is. And at the end of the day, people are getting going to hospital and dying, and they're fully vaccinated. So they're still pushing this whole jab thing, and it's people are still dying even though they're jabbed. So yeah, sort of like a bit of a broken record now, really, isn't it?
Yeah. You know what I mean? And this is not for or against. Again, I've just said the reality is I'm probably going to have to get it. That's the reality of the situation. I know Aaron likes his cruise ships and all that sort of stuff. Reality is he's probably going to have to get at some stage. This is the reality. Unless you're rich as hell and you don't want to be part of society, this is probably likely going to be the reality. Do I like it? No, not at all. But that's the reality of the situation. I hate it having to be in this position that the government's put me in. But again, you just got to, again, if you're going to be part of the voting system, is to vote only for parties that are either pro-shooting or have at least over the 18 months have shown backbone to want to get people out of this issue. So same thing. Not a big fan of One Nation's gun policy, but they've been doing a good job with this. Liberal Democrats, obviously. Even can't stand fucking Clive Palmer, but Kelly's been saying some good things. He's pro-Australian. That's what I like. So I'll be putting those guys on the top of my list. I don't know which one's going to be at the top of my list yet, but certainly Labor, Liberal, Greens, and Nationals will be right down the bottom. And the fact that I'm in New South Wales and Gladys is making us do what she's doing now, she'll be right at the bottom, man. Even over Labor, she'll be right at the bottom because I can't stand conservative parties, supposed conservative parties, I should say, telling us, taking away our freedom and then telling us you're not going to get it back until you do this. That is not a conservative viewpoint, even remotely. So, I won't be supporting, not that I ever have supported them in 30 years of voting, or 20 years of voting, since I was 20 years old. But, we just don't need any more discrimination, guys, against shooters. We've, a lot of us have had it. I just don't think businesses, unless, and again, I want to make that clear distinction. I understand businesses are going to be put in a position where they're not going to be able to afford, $20,000 or $30,000 fines if that's what it becomes. That's a different story. I'm talking people electing out of their own free will when it's not legislation to discriminate against people. I'm just not going to stand for it, and I just don't care. I'll put your name all over my Facebook page. I'll make videos about it. Your business will be you bet I'll be just shutting it down after I've finished with it. So,
yeah, it's not going to be good. And Matt Cato here, thanks for the super chat. Seriously, how do they think they're going to be able to enforce this? Well, there's going to be no matter what, if they want to enforce anything, you're going to have to be like back in World War II. Show us your papers. That's what it's going to be. You're going to have a digital paper, or you're going to have some sort of COVID passport, and you're going to have to show that wherever you go. And the Rangers, I have heard today from someone else that another range has said you will not be entering our range until you show proof of vaccination. Apparently, you get a certificate when you're fully doped up. And
but you know what? Maybe I think Matt said it earlier. Correct me if I'm wrong, Matt. One of our regular listeners as well. But I've thought about what he said too. I lost what he said a bit higher, but summation is basically they'll get to. I think this will happen. I'm not sure because they're going to want to be re-elected, these morons, right? So they've got to give some sort of carrot. So I would presume once they try the heavy-handed tactics early on, they get 80 to 85%, maybe a bit lower than that. And then basically everything gets left in the dust and nothing really happens. There's no mandatory this. They got their numbers by coercion. Some of the stronger people held out as long as they could because they could either financially had the resources to do so or they didn't need the job they were in and they were happy to move along. So I'm hoping that's what it's going to be, that once they get to their numbers, this will all be just put in the dust and, we'll move on with our lives and everyone will get back to living a normal life. We've all lost 2 years of our lives. We haven't been able to hunt and shoot in a lot of places, depending on where you're from. And, we just want to get back to normal life. And I think, getting back to what we talked about before about the business, I really don't think, a lot of businesses are going to be stupid enough to go down the road of discriminating against people. I think we've got a good community of people. And I don't think we're going to see that. So hopefully we're not going to have to, name and shame anyone. And it's just going to be people realize, individual rights and are important and to respect that. So.
Yeah, I think it'll go either the way you said, or I think they could even dig their heels and even more not want to lose face. If they know they're going to not get re-elected, they may just end up just digging their heels in and just going the whole hog. Once we're at 80%, this is it. Because I've heard up here they're going to. There's been talk floating around. If you're not double jabbed. You're not going to go to movies, bars, nightclubs, restaurants. That's off the cards for you. You can go get your food and you go back home and watch TV, and that's about it. That's going to be the limit. No concerts, no sporting events, no nothing. So, yeah, I think our premier, she's just sitting back. I was talking to Jason today about this. I think she's just sitting back and trying to see the whole vibe of it from the citizens in other states. And after Victoria, I don't think she'll be doing much whatsoever because it is that unpopular in Victoria and New South Wales. She wants to get in again, so she ain't going to be trying to pull any stunts, I don't think. I think she was starting to realise that, no, this isn't going to go down well for the other two premiers. And she wants to stay in. So, because there's been no real talk about any of this sort of stuff for a while up here in the news.
What do you see? I'm sorry if I've missed any comments. If you have put them up, please put them in the comments now. I just want to find out what other issues that, because we can't think of everything. That was one of the major ones we definitely had confirmation of today, that, they may not mandate it, but then on some of these ranges, it may be the case that, at a certain date, you may not be able to attend. So what other issues do you see popping up down the track where it could affect gun licenses? Obviously attending ranges, buying ammunition and guns from shops. Listen, I said this to Aaron today. I don't like what they're doing. I think it sucks, but I'm more concerned about, this is the part that really probably annoys me the most out of everything. Yeah. Even if I happen to get done, I've got to go get the thing and it's done and dusted, put it behind me. I'm just opposed to going into a shop and going, hey guys,
here's my papers.
Yeah, here's my papers, man. Like I will, even though I've had it, if someone asks me from a shop, have you got this? I need to see it. I'll go, listen, I'll shop elsewhere. Even if I am vaccinated, I'll say I'll shop elsewhere. I'll go spend my money for people that aren't going to discriminate. So that's what I'm going to do with my money, whether I'm vaccinated or not, unless it's, again, you're going to get put in a position where you're going to want to, I don't know, I'm into rock music. Metallica comes and plays a big stadium concert. You either don't go or you got to show them your paperwork. But I'm not going to go out of my way to show like Bunnings and shit. Go, hey guys, here, man, here it is. Here, yeah, good on you. Nah, no way, mate, no way. I'll shop where they don't discriminate. That's where I'll shop.
Yep, exactly. And I've got something to say about that in a second. We'll just go through the super chats. Tankmeister for some drinkies. Thank you so much. And our good old Daniel Andrews. We talk about it here, but in reality, it's happening. Dictatorial governments are consuming Victoria, and the majority of Victorians are cheering on their own oppression. Well, their own oppression, those guys cheering on, man, are people who are sitting at home, getting paid, not having to go to work. They want this extended out, I reckon. All the dole bludgers, they want all this because they can sit at home and they're still getting paid. And they're too dumb to realise one day the money's going to run out and you ain't going to have a job. You ain't going to be able to sit home and get money.
Ronnie and Cherie said best and less have said no jab, no entry. I was like, well, what do they even sell anyway? Hey, let them. Hey, listen, if you want to lose business, go right ahead. I just think it's
who was that?
That's Ronnie and Cherie said best and less. The clothing store.
Yeah.
They're not going to let people in. I was like, why do you want to reduce your business? Like, it is 10%. Like I've heard from people that said, listen, if I get forced to not serve 20% of people, I've got a minimum let 20% of my workforce go bare minimum. They said more likely between 30 and 40 because that business that percentage they can't serve and make money off has a major flow on effect. It's not a 20% for 20% scenario. So they said we probably have to get rid of 30-35% because with reduced trade, reduced people, reduced stock. If you're in food industry, it's reduced food. You just can't. The flow on effect's going to be huge. So I think, hey, if you want to do that and lose money, go right ahead. I just know not where to go in the future. I'm not going to sit there and go, hey man, here, nah. No way. I'm not playing that game.
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah, that's bloody ridiculous. I'm trying to bring up my super chats.
While you're doing that, I'll just be
Club Innate. Reach out to Avi Emily and Isaac Butterfield and invite them onto the show. Big following like the Speak Out for Shooters if they make aware of this crap. Oh, Jason actually interviewed Avi. And he
Before he was on Rebel News.
Yeah, before he hit it the big time. But yeah, he's an interesting guy. So you can go down to and listen to his interview for that. But yeah, I don't know if they want to come in our show. We're small fries now compared to them now. They've hit the big time.
Yeah.
So make sure you hit the subscribe button.
I remember before when he had I think it was the Israeli defence, whatever it was in Melbourne, and they were teaching him
shutting him down.
I don't think the government liked that when they were teaching people self-defence and dishandling of firearms use. I mean, trying to take guns off people, as in, how to, what do they call it? Take a weapon off an attacker and those sort of things. I mean, they like you to be, victims. They don't want you learning techniques to help your cause to be able to defend yourself. So
yeah, exactly. And Rambodian, unfortunately, I don't think we're going back to the old days. This is all part of the new normal. I really hope not. Yeah, a lot of people are saying this is it, which is sad because we only get one life, and I don't want to be living life like this. It's just awful. We need to get back to the good old days. D Funky, thank you very much for the super chat. Lee, I've never locked down, never wore a mask, and never going to get the jab. It's time to build our own communities, grow our own food, and let the system die. Man, you can't be doing that. You can't be self-sufficient. Jeez, I mean, you won't be paying any tax. You won't be paying any taxes.
He's probably the lucky one that lives on a nice bit of 20 acres. He's got a nice pond at the back and a nice stream, and he's got a couple of 4-wheel drives and a couple of diggers and backhoe and a couple of ride-on mowers, mate. He's just living the life, I reckon.
Yeah, that'll be nice. That'll be nice to be fully self-sufficient, like a couple hundred years ago. Vaccination. Empathy. Alex Lopez, thank you very much, Alex. Yeah, it's amazing how many people jump onto it, isn't it? And our good friend JR here. Next, if we don't have the jab, we'll be considered not a fit and proper person to own a firearm. That's exactly what I was going to say before. They could try and pull that bullshit on us. Well, you're not listening to the science and the government, so we'll take your license off you.
Man, yeah, exactly. Matt Cater said, how long before, which is what you just said, how long before you renew your gun license without the passport, mate? Nothing would shock me these days and I always use that as the thing that I say. When they started, registering Nerf guns in South Australia, I knew, time was slim, put it that way. We were at the end game when they were registering Nerf guns and calling gel blasters real guns. I mean, what? Is this the Twilight Zone? What is this?
Just gets worse and worse every month. They chuck something else out there that just trumps the last month. Well, I see carrying vaccination papers as in you're registered. Like you're like a registration in a gun. You're registering yourself now.
Anyway, and you can order online anyway these days. So unless it's like clothing you might need to try on, that's all right. I'll just go somewhere else. I'll order online from a different company.
Well, they did say, someone told me Bunnings said they won't be allowing anyone unvaccinated into Bunnings, which is going to absolutely kill a lot of tradies. Like I go to Bunnings all the time for my business. I get a lot of gear from there.
Angela said, real Rookshan is awesome too. Yes, he is. Welcome, Angela. Another female. I hope it's a female, Angela. I think it's a female name. But Rookshan. Anyone doesn't know who Real Rookshan is? He's a, what does someone say? He's a Sri Lankan dude from Melbourne. And he's been out there at all these issues and reports, think really well, and does a great job and really seems like a really well-spoken fella. So, yeah.
Exactly.
I think I looked at his thing the other day. When I was looking last year, he was about 18,000 subscribers and likes on Facebook. checked like 3 days ago. He was at 99,000. I was like, wow, that's a pretty good run. And then within a couple of days again, I don't know, I think it was this morning I checked, he was at like 154,000. So no, within a couple of days, he's gone up like 55,000 likes to his page. So, and they're watching him more than they're watching anyone else, 40, 50, 60, 70,000 watching his live stream. It's just crazy. Good on him. Hey, he's a hard-working journalist. He deserves it.
Yeah, all these independent journalists are just going gangbusters, outdoing all the mainstream, because people just had enough of the mainstream bullshit. They're just going gangbusters, which is fantastic to see. It's just great, I reckon. Mr. Wonderful, thank you very much for the donation. Gunshots run on limited profit, as it is no way they will cop a passport system only. They will need to pass an actual law to enforce it. Well, no doubt they will try and pass a law, but that could be another thing. They could say to gun shops, you can't sell. They could just bring in some bullshit law, slip it in at the last second in the middle of the night, and you can't sell guns to people who are unvaccinated. Bang, there goes half a dozen gun shops in Brisbane and overnight.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. Maybe some of these, police aren't happy with what's going on down there, but they're just going to start stepping up and just saying no. That's their only option, I think, right now. It's just creating too much of a divide between not only different parts of the community, but between police, between the general public, which is not good. It's going to take years to recover, if it ever recovers, which, that's going to be the hardest thing, to get respect back amongst the community. I always said years ago, people think, if you're not a criminal, they'll treat you fine, but they don't. They just deal with so much bad stuff each day. They don't see any difference between you and a criminal standing right next to you. It's just, that's how they start. That's how they think. And I've seen it firsthand. That doesn't matter if you're a good law-abiding citizen. They got that in mind. Everyone's breaking the law, man. Look for something. It's just not the good way to go about it. Again, got to start, clamping down on education for people that are allowed to go into the force.
Yeah. Exactly. They keep lowering the standards because I was in Brisbane at one stage, or Queensland, more police officers were leaving the force than actually joining it. And they just had to keep lowering the bar, lower it and lower it and lower it until they finally get in. Because a lot of these guys, from what I've heard, they apply for a lot of states they want to become cops so badly, they apply in all the states, and they may get turned down most of the states, and one state will say, yes, you can become a cop here, but the other states have turned them down because they're not fit and proper people to become police officers. And and finally someone says yes, one state says yes.
Yeah, Angela just said she's a female and she just got her license and she loves shooting. She's really missing it at the moment. Yeah, we all are, Angela. That's for sure. John said, sorry, he's late. He went to a party. He's been at a birthday party. Well, I don't know. Is it your birthday, John? If not, well, you don't get a birthday shout out if it's not your birthday then.
And did you socially distance as well? And wear your
did you wear a face nappy, John? Let us know in the comments.
And socially distance.
Wear your government approved nappy? Please let us know in the comments.
Exactly.
Like we always say, guys, we harp on it, but follow the laws. We always say that don't not follow any laws. You don't want your gun license taken off you. Do the right thing. I know people are conflicted about it. They're wanting to go to these things. They're wanting to turn up because they're just at their wits' end. I get it. I really do. But it's not going to do you personally any favors. Unless you're happy to lose your gun license, that's a different discussion altogether, but not probably one for this show. But we're just saying, don't risk it, guys. Do the right thing. We don't like it. There's, like I say, plenty of other people out there right now just doing the thing. So, that's how it is at the moment, unfortunately, if you want to keep your gun license. I know it sucks to be in this position. Don't like it as much as the next person, but, if you want to keep your license and go shooting, do the right thing. Follow the laws until at such time, we can change them. So,
yeah, he's a good one. Vaccinated toilets, unvaccinated toilets. Yeah, well, nothing would surprise me if it comes to that. But anyway, talking about organisations, we better thank the NSC for being tonight's sponsor. So they are an organisation the organisation that does stand up and help shooters. So you can become a member, and a genuine reason if you are in Victoria, which I assume they're going to end up getting a lot of people after this week from Victoria. So Victoria, New South Wales and Queensland, they are a genuine reason for holding a rifle license. And it comes with all the extra goodies that you can find on the website. And you actually can see where your membership is going. They've got a track record of taking governments to court. They've won quite a few things back in New South Wales. Well, a few rifles and pistols that were banned, and not New South Wales, and WA, they got them back. So you can actually see their track record, and they help out a lot of shooters that get in strife as well, legally with letters and things along that line. And they help you through the whole process. And in some cases, they actually turn up and help you with the actual court case. So definitely go over the links in the description and have a look at what they do, and please join up to them or donate to them. So I'm assuming when a lot of your memberships are up, you know where to go, to the NSC, because you know they have a track record of making things better for shooters, or from as far as I can see, they are the ones that are actually giving it a go and standing up to the agencies that are trying to destroy our sport.
Yeah.
So all the links are in the description down below.
Yeah, exactly. And some people said, they're a sponsor to the show. We wouldn't be allowing them to sponsor if they weren't doing good things, So that's what we like. We like to support people that are doing the right thing. And people say, oh, well, you don't talk about other organizations or whatever. Well, they've never approached us either, as far as I can recall anyway, in regards to, helping us out or whatever it may be, or even just, feeding us some info, trying to get some info out there for shooters on what's going on. I mean, there probably has been in the past. No, that I'm probably missing one. But,
no, they have approached me, but not in a good way.
Oh, okay, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we're going to support the people that are supporting us, of course, and doing the right thing. It's just common sense. What did Bagara say? Mainstream media, 5K views. Rukshan, 55,000. Yes, that was true. It was a good job there by him. Colin Penfold, mainstream news is fake news. Agreed.
It most definitely is. Brandon Fairley, welcome to the show. I have not seen you on here before. Sorry if I have missed you. But if you're a new person here, hello. For a good cause, guys. I'm yet to be a firearms owner, but I will be taking the plunge when restrictions have eased. Looking forward to joining the community. Well, you're always welcome, and you're welcome here every Wednesday night, Brandon. Very nice to have you, and you'll enjoy these shooting sports. Now, I do recommend you get onto it and start applying, because the process is very drawn out. It's not hard, but it just takes time because they just hold everything up. So if you're thinking about it, just get your paperwork in and get the ball rolling, because you could be waiting 6 months or so to get your license. So remember that it just doesn't happen overnight. So definitely, I'd be getting your paperwork in.
But so this is an interesting one too, and Rose brings up a very good point here. I can see the confliction here a little bit. Businesses should have the right to choose whether they serve vax or unvaxxed people. Should be made clear that customers can choose whether to enter to. But then where do we draw the line? We're not going to serve blacks, gays. Is that okay too? People go, well, so that's different. Well, how's it different? You know what I mean? How is it different? I don't see any distinction at all. If you're going to allow discrimination of one, then you allow discrimination of all, which I don't have a problem with, which is fine. If that's the way you want to go but if we want to get on that path, then also too, then there's much other things that come with that as well. So then we don't serve gay. You don't serve gays, fine. No blacks, no, fine. That's fine if you want to do that. But again, there's always going to be these other issues that are going to pop up with different types of people too. Like, hey, I'm not going to serve tall guys or short guys, or I don't want to serve women at all, for an example. What if that was a thing? Are we going to be okay with that? We've got to have some sort of set standard, about what we are and what we are going to achieve. You can't say no to one, but okay to the other, and then be forced by the government to say, well, you have to stop that one. But this one, if you want to stop that one, no, you can't stop that one. That's illegal for you to stop that person coming into your shop. Makes no sense, man. I would rather just all say, well, yeah, if you don't want someone in your shop, that's the way it is. That's fine. But, again, it's okay to do it against one, but not another section of the community. Just like it's okay to apparently, to harass and vilify shooters, but you go to other members of the community, which might be a minority like us, and, don't say anything about them because that's going to be a problem. So, again, slippery slope, man, very slippery slope.
Yeah, well, I don't believe in any discrimination against anyone who wants to shop anywhere. I think it's just a basic right. You should be able to go into shops no matter what. You shouldn't be casting people out for any reason of your shop whatsoever. And the only thing that will affect me personally, because I can buy everything else online, is the Bunnings thing. If Bunnings bring that in, that would be the only thing that would really affect me, because I use them quite a bit for my business. My other wholesalers, I can just phone up and order and they deliver it for a small fee. But it's just going to get that will kill a big chunk of Bunnings, I reckon, if they do that.
And hit the like button, says Cliff Lee. Yeah, surrounded watching. And if you're still watching, obviously we're giving you some good information. Hit that like button now. Smash it hard with that little finger of yours, on your little keyboard and mouse if you can. Or if you're on a phone, just hit that little button. That'd be nice of you.
Just once, though. Just once. And Rambodian, the only thing that concerns me is we are in a constant state of emergency to enact these emergency measures. What happens when these states' emergencies end, or will they never end? Yeah, good point. Who knows? When are they going to end? Are they? We talk about this all the time. Are they ever going to end? Well, in 2 days' time, Queensland is meant to lose the face nappies. No more nappies for us inside buildings and that. So I wonder what's going to happen in the next 2 days, because it was meant to end a couple of weeks ago, and they came out and said, "Oh, just 2 more weeks, just 2 more weeks."
Would you listen to Labor, though? You know what I mean? Would you really listen to Labor? And again, if these emergency measures, it all depends on what state you're talking about. If you're in Victoria, the pro-gun ones will vote to give Daniel Andrews more power. So just, again, remember that at the election time. They'll vote with the likes of Daniel Andrews, the likes of Andy Medic from the Animal Justice Party, Ratnam from, Samantha Ratnam from the Greens, for an example. I mean, these are, what's the other chick? She actually follows me on Twitter. I feel like, why is she following me? Fiona Patton formerly from the Sex Party, now the Reason Party. I mean, these are the company these people keep. Our pro-gunners are in bed with these types of people, giving Daniel Andrews more power. While you have like Tim Quilty, you've got Dave Limbrick all out there trying to get people back to work. And, again, shooters just don't realise it. Don't realise actually good people in Parliament that are pro-shooting. They're not all about shooting, but they're pro-shooting. And then you have these guys voting with Andrews. I mean, are you guys happy with that? I mean, if I was in Victoria, and I was a member of that particular party, I would be pissed to the max. Aren't you guys pissed if you're in Victoria? Just hearing that information, that they're voting with the Andrews government to lock down Parliament, to give him more powers under the omnibus bill. I mean, shocking. I don't think that party will recover in Victoria, to be brutally honest, at the next election. And anyone that votes for him is just a clown, in my opinion. But good luck if you want to continue to vote for that sort of thing.
Yeah, and he's been shutting down Parliament. They voted Daniel Andrews to shut Parliament, so they can't even talk about the future and discuss what's happening and how to stop it, or any opposition in Parliament. He voted with Daniel Andrews to shut Parliament down, for God's sake. So we have to wear nappies whenever we're inside, but Parliament, it's too dangerous for them to even wear a face nappy while they're talking about the whole state, trying to sort the state out to stay at home for them and get paid still. It's just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
Yes, not becoming of a party that's supposed to be pro-shooting, getting in bed with those types of people. I mean, again, you can assure me and Aaron would have voted against it. I can assure you of that. Lights Out Hunting, I should say, said, am I coming down the Riverina for duck shooting? Well, yes, if Gulag Gonzo Gladys lets me out on October 13th, I'll be down there sometime early to mid-November, possibility. So Aaron will have to figure out what he's going to do, try and get someone else on for a couple of weeks. I know it's not going to rate as highly as me, obviously, but, he'll have to do his best.
Well, maybe I'll be able to get a word in edgewise.
You might be able to. You're lucky.
You've been going off tonight. I'm only allowing it because I'm really tired. I've worked a 14-hour day today. So
the floor is yours, sir. The floor is yours.
Yes, Peter from the NSC, SFFP, Victoria, Borman disabled comments on their Facebook pages. Well, that just says it all. When you gotta disable your comments, you know you're fucked up. Plain and simple.
Well, hopefully there's lessons to be learned here for everybody. You know, you only make more mistakes if you don't learn from the ones you make. So
you won't be going to Riverina unless you're triple vaxxed anyway.
Oh, just give me 10 right now so I can go. Give me all 10. Give me every single one. Give me the Pfizer. Give me the whatever it is, the AstraZeneca. Just jab me up. Jab me up.
Govern me harder, Daddy.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, mate, love it. Just give me more. Put it in my legs, my knees, my toes. Just give it to me.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to find some comments here. Here we go. Something a bit different. Peter Grace, guide me. Guide. Don't keep your gun safe key on your carrying if you want to go to the pub or have alcohol in the car. Cops are checking this when your name comes up on an RBT. I don't know how. They can't check your keys, can they? At the RBTs? When they're giving you a breathalyzer?
Who knows what they're really going to be allowed to do at the end of the thing.
Yeah, I reckon soon there'll be a full cavity search if you're pulled over. And we got our friend here again, Prestige Plasters. Sorry, I'm so late tonight. Better catch up on this tomorrow. Well, welcome. Maybe you've been working as well.
I thought you just said Prestige Plasterers, and I thought,
yeah, I did. Sorry, got work on my mind.
I thought you did. I was like, Prestige Plasterers or Blasters?
I got work on my mind. Yeah.
Pato said, tell us about your next podcast. Yeah, I've just been having a break for a month, guys, with COVID. Most people that would join me on Patreon know it's been a tough couple of months for sponsors. Everyone's got, just a lot of things going on. So I've got one coming out next week, actually. So it was going to be this week, but I've got a few coming up. I've just gone from just fortnightly to monthly for the time being, just because, a lot of things going on at the moment. And, it's just it's a lot to do every fortnight. So I've just gone to month. Hopefully when COVID ends and we all get back to normal, hopefully we'll go back to fortnightly. But, it also may not too, unfortunately. We'll see how it goes. But I'm just going to try and put a few out when I can. And, just we keep moving forward and keep doing it. So stay tuned for the next one.
Will you only be interviewing vaccinated people?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
You don't want to get the woo flu down the microphone.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if I do it, how am I going to get it over the microphone anyway? So everybody is welcome on AHP.
Exactly. Yeah, guys, I'm going to shameless plug. We never talk. Well, everyone's been asking me to get onto your podcast, but you never let me on. Jeez,
yeah. Mate, he's already been on. He just doesn't rate anymore. He's just his ratings have plummeted.
Guys, when I was on, I was the second highest rating show he ever had in history.
You've dropped out a bit the last couple of months, but that's because
it's 3 years ago. It was 3 years ago.
Yeah, but then that total stays. This is total downloads. We did one on state forest hunting, and this is what the next show is going to be about too. Just getting back to Matt's question about, a lot of people talk about where to hunt in Australia. So I'm talking to this fella that's got a website that's going to looks pretty good, actually. I've given him, we've come to an agreement, and he's got a website, and you can go onto the website. It's going to have public land stuff. It's going to have where to hunt. It's going to have outfitters if you want to do it. He's already got one of it up now. It looks pretty darn good. So it's going to tell people where they can go hunting and sort of a one-stop shop for like a resource of hunting. So sounds pretty good, and I'm keen to sort of do it. So it's going to be good. And
what I was going to say was, guys, never really talk about it, but both Jason and me have Patreon accounts. Mine just gone down to like no tomorrow. So if guys
want me to sign up for yours? Do you want me to sign up for yours?
Yeah, with all that crypto money. Give me a Bitcoin. Give me a Bitcoin.
And nothing.
And Yeah, so please sign up to our Patreons if you like what we do. If you like the show, please support us that way because we actually do spend a bit of time researching and doing stuff here. It's just not thrown together at the last second. This is all thought ahead, probably a couple of weeks and prior. Apart from tonight, we had another episode planned for tonight, but this came up today. We thought we'd better get this out because a lot of people have been talking about it.
Yeah. Here we go. If David Withers, if membership SSAA for 36 years, they introduced this dictatorial nonsense, I will stop my subscription. What did he say then, the last part? What has the once beautiful country come to? Well, that's the emails we said that we showed up with the information we showed up says that's going to be the case. So at some stage will be the case. So, 36 years probably should have, we don't tell people who to join or who not to join, or we do tell people who to join. We support organisations that are doing stuff for us. So if you're still a member there, you might want to just maybe have a look at other alternatives. Put it that way. Come renewal time. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Sport, love the show. We'd like to see more gun reviews. Well, Jade, they take a lot of time to do. I just don't slap together a cheap, dirty gun review. And I've pretty much stopped doing gun reviews because I got sick of selling guns for free for importers that won't even return my phone calls or talk to me. And they've actually been online, their sales reps bagging me out and bagging this live stream out. So I pretty much just refuse to do them now. Unless it's an independent company or something like that, or some or a manufacturer, I just won't do them. That's the main reason. Also, it costs me about $750 per gun review. By the time I get everything together, get the ammunition, get the gun, go out and film it, and then another day to edit it, and all for about $2.50 I make on YouTube for it. So it's just the numbers just don't add up, unfortunately. So yeah, you won't be seeing much in the way of gun reviews or anything at all coming out of this channel anymore. I'll let other people who want to sell guns for people free of charge do all that. Now, and people are saying I'd do more long range stuff, and that takes forever. Those reviews take a long time to do. They're long range because
we had an idea about some things to do. We had an idea. I think you should still do that. We're not going to say what it is, but I still think you should do that. What we spoke about.
I might do in the future. I did do one of them, like what you said, and they got bugger all views. I just can't win.
Make one, and hopefully it's going to do that. You just got to keep doing it. But anyway.
Yeah, I probably will. I will get back into more shooting videos later on down the track. But guys, when you see what I've been up to, that's coming up, you'll understand why it's been a bit quiet lately. Yeah, you'll definitely see why.
He's definitely been working hard, guys. I can attest to that. He sent me some photos of said item today or the other day, and I thought, yeah, he's been working his little guts out. He's a bastard, but he's been working his guts out. That's for sure. On some new things he's got going. So,
yeah, I've worked every day now for about 4 months, and nothing under like 12-hour days. So it has been.
Yes, it started working.
Yeah, it's been long and hard trying to do my day job, then coming home and doing night shift here. Sometimes I'm working right through to like 1 a.m. to get things done.
Neil said 18 thumbs down. So he said time to rack off. Exactly, mate. If you got thumbs down, mate, you're certainly doing the right thing because they obviously want to come onto the stream and listen and get butt hurt about what we're saying. So, but just tell it as it is, man. It's nothing we've said tonight's been untoward. It's all backed up by evidence base that we've received. We've showed you. This is what's happening. I don't know what people can possibly get upset about. We're saying don't discriminate against people. I think it's fairly reasonable stuff. So that just must be butthurt, I guess.
Yeah, we've actually been quite nice tonight. We could have been a lot harder. Probing said, Aaron should do alcohol commercials. Yeah, that'll be nice. That would be very nice.
Well, that might even be able to be part of what you're doing in the future. So, yeah.
Could be. I hope so. Yeah, okay, well, it's not what I was thinking. We've locked down for months, not much happening with guns and ammos. Yeah, I've heard from a few shops that has been very slow at me. Yeah, I just couldn't fathom having a business down in Victoria right now. That's unbelievable. The amount, 300 days or something, isn't it, Jace? They've been locked down.
Yeah, poor buggers, man. I don't know how you're
Yeah.
doing it. It's happening. We're getting on to about 3 months here in Sydney, so it's they promise the world. If you get it, they're gonna let you get your freedoms back, and you watch them just renege on it. I betcha. Southern Star Review says, "What's your Patreon?" Just have everyone. Mine's patreon.com/AHP Patreon. Yeah. You didn't spell it. You didn't spell it right. Southern Star Review, but yeah.
Both our links are down in the description below, so both are down there. So
I've got some good things coming. I'm concentrating more on, really, really good ones as well. Things I'm interested in, and they take a lot longer because a lot of backwards and forwards with, especially when I had the guy from Burger Bullets. That was a very interesting one. A lot of people did like that. Great numbers on that one, and this took a long time. I mean, they were great backwards and forwards. It was worked out quickly, but then time frames to book it in and. Just take time, guys. So, yeah, it's like everything in life. Just takes a little bit of time to organise and questions and so forth. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I've actually didn't tell Jason this, but I got a couple of people, one quite a large YouTuber that has said that they might come onto the show, and another mate has said she will be coming on the show as well. So, which in the future, which will be very, very good. It's just hard nailing them down because there's time differences and everything. When I tell them that it's 4 o'clock their time, they get a bit standoffish.
Yeah, and Mr. Wonderful said, "Aaron, did you get the snakes out of the shed yet?"
Yeah, they went. I was in that shed today. Actually, I walked in just with my thongs on, and I thought, and it's covered in crap right now. That no, I was half standing in the middle amongst all my tools and gear. Thinking, maybe I should have worn work boots. But yeah, they're there. They're always there, always there. Found a big brown snake skin by the front door.
You find a snake?
A few days ago. Hey, what was that?
I thought you said snake. I thought you find a brown snake in your house.
Yeah, brown snake skin. So yeah, so they're definitely there. That's for sure. I need someone to come and mow my lawns for me and take the risk.
Anyway, here we go. Before we finish off, we've got like a couple of minutes. Any news on the gun ammo transport issue? Chris, legendary. Mate, we'll find out some information. Someone mentioned also too about ADI powder, so maybe we'll get an update on that. Someone asked me about my Ute, my Triton. Yeah, mate, it's a beast. I need to get. It's got 75,000 Ks. I need to get a lift on it though. It's getting a bit sloppy in the suspension, man. So I think I need to do something about it. Rod Patrick said Steve Lee on the show. Well, I got to talk to him. I don't know whether he would come on, but I haven't talked to him yet. So
I've been hounding Jason for weeks for that, but he hasn't gone on.
Yeah, he might say no because I'm let's hope he says yes. Anyway, put it that way. I'll talk to him.
It'd be good. Yeah. We've always supported him here, so it'd be good to see him come on. That's for
Neil
sure.
said he wants some apple cider. Yep, mate. The old what is it again? Summersby, man. Yeah, they're not bad. Like bloody apple cordial, apple cider. What is an apple cider anyway?
And Colin said it would be cool if you could have everyone on again. Yeah, well, that's coming.
We will.
That's for sure. We will be very, very soon. Yeah, don't worry. And if it starts to take off, you guys come on and enjoy it, and the numbers are showing it, we will do it more regularly, have people on.
We were going to do it today, I think, but then we had the information on the.
Yeah, it was going to be tonight, actually.
No shooting. So, some people said, well, I was reading one thing there. What were they saying? Oh, not going to happen, fake. You know what you're talking about. Well, we just showed you the evidence, man. So we don't talk out the other side of our faces unless we've got the evidence. There's so much stuff me and Aaron talk about that we just don't bring up sometimes because we don't have the evidence to back it up. So until at such time we generally not talk about it. Sometimes we hypothesize about what's going to happen. And, again, name one thing we've been wrong about in the last 12 months. Everything we've said has come true, like literally everything. So
we said about this. I remember
this, please.
I remember saying this once they this all comes in and the percentages, I said, you watch, there's going to affect shooters. They're not going to let us on ranges. You guys know that. We've said this a few weeks ago and months ago. We said this when the gun shops were closing down. We said what else was going to happen, and it's all just happened. Our friend Bagara here, thank you for the super chat. How many firearms are you allowed to own on AHP licenses? Also, I heard there are 3 rifles of the same caliber in Victoria. Well, I don't know about Victoria, but here in Queensland, we can own as many rifles as you want. Just once you get over 30 rifles, you need a like a bank vault safe and more security. So once you get over 30. But you can also have 30
in New
handguns.
South Wales, so you can get as many as you want in New South Wales. I mean, after probably a limit, they'll start probably asking you, but I think there's a set limit. But anyway, mate, that's it. We're over 9 o'clock. Let's finish off.
Yeah, exactly. So, guys, thank you very much for joining us tonight. It's been a interesting night. I hope everyone stays safe, and especially the guys down in Victoria. So, have a good, safe week, and but redundant. We can't say get out shooting because most of the country you can't get out and go shooting. So, definitely stay safe.
Yeah.
Have a great weekend, and just make the most of next week, and we will see you in 7 days' time. Good night.